Alrighty guys, I'm going to show you the basics of Tinkercad and how to make a simple design. So whenever you log in, your page will look something like this. And to make a new design, you simply go over to the blue plus, you click new, click 3D design, and then your page will look something like this. Now the very first thing I want you to do always is go over to the top left corner where the title of your design is. It'll always auto-populate with some sort of weird thing like Funky Crypt. I want you to click on that and name your design something that makes slightly more sense. So I'll call mine Demo, and it makes my life 1,000 times easier if you will add your name afterwards so I know what design belongs to who when I am printing stuff. Now you'll notice that you have this blue grid here. This basically represents the plate that goes into the printer whenever you are printing something. So this is where you design all of your stuff. And you can move it around with your finger or your Apple Pencil. If you go over to this little blue box over here, it will show you specific angles of things. So that can be useful. But this is where you are going to be designing all of your stuff. Now, to actually design, go over to the right side. You will see a bunch of different shapes. You can search for shapes using the little toolbar here. So let's say I want to insert a cylinder. I type in cylinder, and all the cylinder things will pop up. Now, to add a shape to your grid, you simply click it and drag it over, and it will appear on your page. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it easy. Now you notice right now it's orange. You can change the color of it if you want to. It won't really matter because it'll print in whatever color the printer has at the moment. But I like green, so let's change it to green. So let me show you how to change the shape of this thing. So if you want to change two aspects at the same time, like you're editing a picture on Google Slides or whatever, you simply grab a white corner and you can drag it to whatever size you want. If you want to change just one aspect at a time, like just the length or just the width, you would click on a black square and drag it like so. If you want to make it taller or shorter, you go to this white square up at the very top and make it taller or short. If you want to change the way it is tilted, you can use either one of these arrows to change how it tilts to the side or around like this. And lastly, you can use this black triangle up at the top to change how high up on the plane your object is floating. So for example, if I'm stacking multiple objects, I can take that black triangle and I can lift it up above the plane like that, or I can even sink it down below the plane. Now, if you're just printing one object and you're not stacking anything, you want to make sure that your object is touching the plane. And the reason you want to do that is because if it's below the plane, I'll show you what it looks like on the bottom, it's going to print weird. And if it's floating, and you can tell if it's floating because it'll have a shadow beneath it, it will also print weird because the printer cannot print things floating in midair. So make sure that your stuff is touching the plane. That will be useful. Now you notice that whenever I click on a square, numbers pop up. These numbers represent how wide your design is in millimeters. So if I were to print out this green pancake right now, it would be 23 millimeters wide by 25 millimeters long. And you can also click on these boxes and type in whatever number you want. That can sometimes make your life easier if you're trying to get to a very specific number and have trouble dragging it to that specific number. So that can make your life easy. Now, like I said, you can insert as many shapes as you want. You can make them whatever color you want. If you insert the text option here, you can actually change it to whatever, to make it say whatever you want to. So you would just click on the box, click on text, and type in whatever word you want to. It'll even let you change the font. And this one is really cool too. This shape is called Scribble. If you drag a scribble onto your plane, a screen like this will pop up and you can actually draw with your finger or your Apple Pencil whatever shape you want. When you're satisfied with it, you can click done and it will insert that shape into your plane where you can then change the size of it just like everything else. Now, one more thing I want you to know is how to insert a note. So if you go over here to the right corner, you'll see that there is a notes tool. If you click on that and go back over to your plane, it will let you insert a note on your design. This doesn't affect how it's printed or anything, but this will be useful in the future when you do classroom projects and need to label certain aspects of your design. So I can label this smiley face, and if I click the minus, it'll minimize, and if I click it again, it'll show my note, and you can drag it around to wherever you need it to be. So that is how you do a simple design. No need to worry about saving anything. It saves automatically. I could X out of this right now and it would be perfectly fine. So there's no save button you have to worry about. And I believe that is it. I hope this helps.